Texas is a complex and diverse state which offers many opportunities for working and living. Despite all of our differences, Texans share a very common need to move our people and products throughout the state, the nation, and the world. During World War II, air bases were established all over Texas to train wartime aviators. Many of these bases, like Perrin Field in Grayson County, were converted to civilian use and are now part of a dynamic community infrastructure. Texans are proud of their aviation heritage. The seeds have been planted to fuel the imaginations of developing craftsmen, scientists, and aviators that will assure us a bright future. Texans continue to contribute to new research and advances in aircraft design, flight training, manufacturing, and aviation technology. Texas has the second highest population in the United States. To support its population, over 300 communities enjoy the benefits of a public use airport. These airports are the base for nearly 2 million flight hours per year. In order to provide adequate and safe air access to communities within the state, the Texas Department of Transportation has developed the Texas Airport System Plan, also called the TASP. The objective of the TASP is to promote and improve a statewide system of public airports, which provides access by air to centers of population, industry, agriculture, energy resource development, and foster economic development. It is TxDOT's mission to equip communities with the tools and assistance they need to support and sustain their local general aviation airports. Airports offer many opportunities for the development and diversification of the state's economy. The TASP has evolved over time as airports have been improved and their roles have emerged to serve the specific aviation needs of the communities they serve. There are basically two types of airports in the Texas Airport System Plan: commercial service and general aviation airports. Commercial airports are those that provide scheduled service by major airlines with more than 2,500 enplanements annually. There are 25 commercial service airports in the Texas Airport System Plan. Texas is home to several major airlines and large commercial service airports. General aviation airports make up the remainder of the Texas airports. There are 294 in the system plan. General aviation airports provide many types of specialized services that large commercial airports cannot because of their size and congestion. General aviation airports in Texas are categorized on a number of factors, including the number of base jets, number of total based aircraft, the availability of instrument procedures, the presence of a control tower, the availability of fuel, runway length, and their aeronautical function and role. GA Airport link communities in remote locations to the national airport system. Towns with limited access or non-specialized medical facilities can appreciate the contribution that general aviation provides.
We're licensed as a mobile ICU, so that anything that we can do at an ICU, our team is qualified to do. If there's weather involved, the helicopters can't fly, then we need to come in with the fixed wing, and we make the transports then. And we do have an advantage of speed over the helicopters. We flew down to McAllen and picked up a woman who was having an aortic dissection where the aorta was, splitting apart, and certainly the bouncing and the time involved in a ground transport, she wouldn't have survived that. So we were able to get her into San Antonio where they could go into surgery and make the repair.
Many humanitarian and philanthropic organizations utilize general aviation aircraft and airports to fly patients to medical care facilities at no cost. These flights often take patients directly from their smaller community airport to treatment centers in larger metropolitan areas.
Angel Flight is a group of volunteer pilots that give of their time and their aircraft to transport patients who need care. And in the state of Texas, there's 700 volunteer pilots with patients that needed care, that needed a way to get there. They couldn't drive 6 or 8 hours. They couldn't handle a commercial flight in order to get the care that they needed. So they relied on the smaller planes and the volunteer pilots to get them there. It's the best flying I ever do. I've never had a bad patient, even if they've just come out of chemotherapy and they're feeling terrible. Just to have the luxury of flying home the same day after treatment and to their hometown, because there's usually a close airport for them. It just makes a world of difference.
Texas general aviation activities, from airport operations, tenant businesses, and visitor spending, represent about $9.4 billion in direct economic activity, supporting almost 28,000 jobs. When combined with commercial service airports, the impact on the Texas economy is nearly $60 billion per year and supports 771,000 jobs. Aviation supports a variety of businesses, large and small: Lockheed Martin, Bell Helicopter, L3 Communications, American Eurocopter, American Legend Aircraft, Century Flight Systems, and Air Tractor. These are just a few companies that produce state-of-the-art aviation-related products, including aircraft for civil, military, and scientific purposes. Texas continues to see an increase in the use of general aviation aircraft, providing a distinct competitive advantage to many businesses. Companies large and small use airports and aircraft to bring high-value products requiring just-in-time delivery to markets more quickly.
We receive goods from the airport approximately 5 days every week. Aviation is crucial for just-in-time delivery for highly perishable products like flowers, fish that comes from all over the world, basically. There's no way we could get products to our stores without the use of aviation.
Business flying also allows companies to save time and expand their geographic market by using the flexibility and convenience of flying closer to their destination.
We invest in oil and gas properties, and we're in the oil and gas service industry as well. You cannot do these business acquisition and deals over the phone. These things have to be done face to face. You need to get there, and the aircraft and airports enable you to do that. The Eagle Formation that's down south of San Antonio, for me to drive to San Antonio or even further down to the Eagle Ford, you're talking about 6 to 7 hours driving time. I can get there in 45 minutes to an hour in this, depending on traffic and sequencing. And then, if I'm not going into San Antonio itself, I can skip the sequencing and go to the smaller airports and get out there to the rural areas. General aviation saves the day in these smaller airports. Again, I can't tell you how invaluable they are.
Business use of general aviation can range from the rental of a small single-engine aircraft to corporate fleets supported by dedicated flight crews and mechanics. Business aircraft flying to Texas GA airports bring professional and technical personnel every day, giving them rapid access to their colleagues, facilities, and manufacturing plants.
Oxy, headquartered in Houston, does a lot of bringing engineers out for 1 or 2 days at a time on their jet, and like I say, while they're here, they eat in restaurants, they stay in motels, and they help keep our petroleum industry thriving.
But economic prosperity can occur through a variety of opportunities provided just by the availability of sufficient air access. General aviation airports have an impact on their regional economy, boosting jobs and local investment. They directly and indirectly generate important tax revenue for their city, county, and the state. Direct impacts include revenue generated from the aviation-related businesses on and near the airport, such as flight schools, aircraft repair services, fixed-based operators, flight departments, air services providers, and aircraft manufacturers.
We want to make sure that the pilots are happy, because if the pilots are happy, they're going to come back and visit us. They're looking for a good competitive price in fuel. They're looking for ease of getting that fuel, be it through a 24-hour kiosk or with one of our line professionals coming out there and helping them. Now, if they're business, they're looking for transportation. We provide courtesy cars to help that happen. We can also provide them with rental car services or even limousine services, whatever they require. So if you're a business coming into our airport, we're going to make sure that you're in and out with as little hassle as possible. And if you're a recreational pilot, we're going to make you feel like you're one of our family members.
Indirect benefits to the community as a result of the airport include money spent at restaurants, fuel sales, car rental companies, hotels, taxi and limousine services, caterers, retail shops, entertainment and resort venues, and more. These revenues are then recirculated by local business employees on many of the same goods and services within the community. This induced business activity in a community represents what is known as the multiplier effect. Anytime an aircraft lands at your airport, the whole community benefits in some way. Another economic factor to be considered is the use of general aviation in agriculture. Crop protection was one of the earliest uses of aircraft within farming communities. Now, with high-tech agricultural methods like GPS, aerial vegetation mapping, computers, and variable rate applications, general aviation has grown to be an integral part of the modern farmer's tools.
We have actual GPS systems that we use. Almost 95% of the ag industry uses them now. They have flow control. What flow control is, it'll adjust the opening of the valve to the ground speed of the aircraft. So if you're going upwind or downwind, you get even rates across the field. The accuracy is excellent on the GPS system. They're actually getting into now where you can do variable rate, so they can go in there and lay out the ground, see what needs more or less, and you can actually put that into the GPS system.
Improved air access to your community also translates into other benefits that enhance the quality of life and the safety of the citizens of Texas. Important services like search and rescue and disaster relief are vital to a community's health and welfare. Wildfire fighting is especially dependent on general aviation airports for staging and refueling. Law enforcement activities such as aerial surveillance and apprehension of suspects are also important contributions of general aviation. Using planes and helicopters as a law enforcement tool provides eyes in the sky during vehicle pursuits, for drug interdictions, and for search and rescue operations in both urban and remote areas.
Okay, charges right now are evading in traffic. One white male driver. Got traffic ahead, guys. Be aware we have a successful pit. Looks like we is spinning out here. We're on the 66 bridge over Lake Ray Hubbard. We have a successful pit. 101, the vehicle has come to a stop. The highway patrol surrounded the vehicle and they are extracting the driver at this time.
The TxDOT Flight Services section also provides on-demand flight operations to state employees and officials. This allows point-to-point transportation services, which enhances overall productivity and is an efficient use of the state's personnel and resources. Flight Services also provide aircraft maintenance services to the entire Texas state aircraft fleet. Over 40 aircraft, both fixed-wing and rotary-wing, including those from the Texas Department of Public Safety, Parks and Wildlife, Department of Criminal Justice, Texas A&M, the University of Texas, and TxDOT's own fleet all enjoy the cost-effective benefit of a centralized and quality-controlled aircraft maintenance facility. Local fly-ins and large sponsored air shows, like the Central Texas Air Show in Temple, can be both exciting and profitable for general aviation airport communities. Airplane enthusiasts and the general public can discover new experimental aviation technologies while sharing and learning more about aircraft building, restoration, flying, and safety. The exhilarating sight of colorful and innovative aircraft can lead to a lifetime of discovery for the aviation enthusiast.
The demand for aviation is growing, and that will never go away. So we need to get pilots into the system, get them excited about aviation. Before any of our customers ever get into an airplane, they know how to talk on the radios, how to push all the buttons and turn all the knobs on the navigation equipment, how to taxi. We've cut the amount of time actually in the airplane that it takes to learn how to fly from somebody that walks in off the street to getting their private pilot's license in just about half.
You can see by these examples that aviation in Texas is important to our health, quality of life, and our local, regional, state, and national economies. The TxDOT Aviation Division's job is to protect and enhance the investment in the aviation system. We provide technical assistance that includes reviewing airport layout plans, evaluating obstructions, providing oversight and management of new construction, airport land acquisition, preparing zoning packages, and obtaining environmental clearances. We can also help communities improve their airports by providing funding through the Aviation Capital Improvement Program. This program identifies specific projects for development during an upcoming 3-year period. The Aviation Division invests in projects for general aviation airports identified in the task. The Texas Department of Transportation is the agent in applying for, receiving, and dispersing federal funds under what is known as the State Block Grant Program. This program gives the Aviation Division the authority and flexibility to carry out the Federal Airport Improvement Program. In addition, Texas administers a State Airport Grant Program. These capital programs allow communities to take advantage of available funds for building hangars, installing fuel farms, constructing runway extensions, installing or replacing airport lighting systems, constructing or expanding aircraft parking aprons, rehabilitating airfield pavements, and maintaining their airport.
The improvements and the infrastructure investment that we make and the ability to fund our funds and leverage those funds with TxDOT funds makes the projects happen. They simply would not occur but for that partnership. So it's been a really, really good partnership for us. Our corporate customers that visit the airport and that are based here, as well as our general aviation customers that come and go through the airport, have all benefited from those improvements and those projects. So it's really hard to put a dollar value on those. They've been very significant.
All that is needed to begin the process is a letter of interest. This letter should come from the airport sponsor's chief elected or appointed official, such as the county judge, mayor, or city manager. It should identify the specific improvements or planning study in which the sponsor is interested. Assuming the project is needed, eligible, and justified, a decision will be made concerning the programming of a request for financial assistance. In addition to the aviation CIP, to protect these investments, we assist sponsors with the yearly upkeep of their airports. Many of our communities partner with TxDOT in the Routine Airport Maintenance Program, or RAMP. Participating in RAMP provides resources to help with pavement repair and markings, security upgrades, drainage improvement, and general maintenance such as crack sealing, herbicide application, lighting repair, and small capital improvements. Maintaining your airport preserves a valuable community asset.
It's not my money I'm spending, it's taxpayer money that I'm spending. So I'm under a fiduciary responsibility to be a good servant of their money. So if I can spend less of their money and TxDOT help me with the remainder, it's a win-win.
It would be great if keeping an airport in tip-top shape was all that was needed to be successful, but it isn't. For an airport to provide its essential community service, there has to be local leadership, advocacy, and vision. An airport is more than the runways and taxiways. It's the gateway to the community.
The TxDOT Aviation Division is ready to assist you in any way we can. Let's work together to move aviation forward in our great state for future Texans.